Hey guys, in today's lesson we're going to talk about cubes, cube roots, and perfect cubes. So the first thing we're going to look at on this sheet, you can see we have an example of a cube. Okay, and it says what is 3 cubed? Well, remember that 3 cubed means 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 cubed would be 27. Okay, and we write 3 cubed like this. So that says 3 cubed. Some of you may read that as 3 to the 3rd power, but technically we read that as 3 cubed, 3 cubed. All right, so let's do a few examples. So 4 cubed means 4 times 4 times 4. So that would be 16 times 4 or 64. Okay, but what about the cube? Oh, I'm sorry. Now we've got 5 cubed. Let's do that one, which remember is 5 times 5 times 5. So that's going to be 25 times 5. And if you want to think about that in terms of quarters, if you had 5 quarters, so that would be 125. Okay, let's move the page up. Okay, so cube roots. So it says that a cube root goes the other direction, meaning it's the inverse or opposite of cubing a number. Remember, in the last lesson, we talked about squares and square roots and how those were opposites. Well, a cubed root is the opposite of cubing. So this time you'd be asking yourself, what number can I multiply together by itself 3 times in order to get that? So in the example, 3 cubed is 27. So the cubed root of 27 would be 3. So let's look at some examples. What is the cube root of 64? Meaning what number multiplied together by itself 3 times gave us 64? Well, we saw that right up here in this example, 4. What about the cubed root of 125? So we just did that one too, so that's going to be 5. What is the cubed root of 216? What number times itself 3 times is 216? Well, if you don't have access to a calculator, then you could just do guess and check. Since we know that 5 cubed is 125, let's try 6 cubed and see what that is. So if I do 6 cubed, that's 6 times 6 times 6, which is 36 times 6. And let's see, 36 times 6, that would be 36. 6 times 3 is 18. Add the 3 on top is 21. Okay, so that's going to be 216. So 6 cubed is 216. The cubed root of 216 is 6. Now, if you'll remember in the last lesson, I said that each number had 2 square roots, the positive square root and the negative square root. That's not true today. Cubed roots, there is just, each number has one single cubed root. Okay, so you don't have to worry about adding the positive and negative version. This symbol that we see right here is the cubed root symbol. So it's got the radical sign with that little 3 right there, and it means the cubed root. Okay, so I want you to pull up your Desmos calculator, and I'm going to show you on the Desmos calculator how you can do the cubed root of a number. So when I get ready to type in a cubed root of a number, first off, you may see, you probably have already noticed right here was the square root symbol, the radical symbol. You don't want that when you're doing square root. So I want you to tap on the part that says FUNCS, meaning functions. And then you may need to tap right here where it says MISC, meaning miscellaneous. So you want miscellaneous, and then you want this right here. This means the nth root. So I'm going to tap that. And so the little blinker is right here. So that's where we want the cubed root. So by the way, that means you could also use this function to find the 5th root or the 10th root or whatever of a particular number. So then I'm going to tap here. And let's type in 216. So this is saying find the cubed root of 216. And they're telling us it is 6. Okay? If I wanted to do the cubed root of, say, 27, I'm going to hit that FUNC, functions, and then miscellaneous, and then the nth root. Cubed root of 27 is 3, okay? So let's go to the next page. Okay, and this top portion is asking us about perfect cubes. So the cubes of whole numbers. So they've actually already identified the perfect cubes for us here. So if I do 1 cubed, I get 1. 2 cubed is 8. 3 cubed is 27. And you can see how that's going. So these are the first 10 perfect cubes of a number. It says here, it is easy to work out the cube root of a perfect cube, but it's super hard to work out the other cube roots. So for example, if I had to find the cube root of 30, let's see what it says to do here if you don't have a calculator. If you know what perfect cube roots are around the number, that's going to help us narrow our search. So they're saying what perfect cube is close to 30. In this case, and I highlighted the perfect cubes, you need to do that as well. So in this case, 27 is really close to 30, and 27 has a cubed root of 3. So we know that it's going to be somewhat bigger. The cube root of 30 would be somewhat bigger than 3. And we know it's not 4 because 4 cubed is 64. That's way too high. So you could do guess and check is what they're talking about in this section. So you could try 3.5 cubed and 3.2 cubed because it was too high, then 3.1. So it's somewhere between 3.1 and 3.2. So you get an estimation. So it says now you try to work out these numbers that are not perfect cubes. And we're actually going to cheat just a little bit here. And we're going to use our calculator. So I just want you to estimate using your calculator. So we're going to do the cubed root of 89. Cubed root of 89. And we'll just round that one off to the nearest, let's do nearest hundredth. So that would be 4.46. And since we've rounded, I'm going to put that little squiggly there, 4.46. Okay, let me move this over here. And then let's do the cubed root of 102. And if I round that one to the nearest hundredth, I'm going to give it about 4.67. And since I'm rounding, I'm putting a squiggly sign on top of my equals. Okay, we're going to move this out of the way. If I can make it move. Do it that way. Okay. There is a link here to a YouTube video if you would like to watch it to give you some more information on cubes and cube roots. But that's actually the end of today's lesson. So I want you to go ahead, if you've got this down, go ahead and work now on your independent practice. Good luck, guys.